Thank you for purchasing the Janome computerized sewing machine. Your new Janome machine integrates such advanced features as easy set bobbin, direct pattern selection, an automatic thread cutter, a worldwide auto voltage power system, a two-way speed control, ultra-slow sewing with the start-stop button, and much more in a compact body. We're sure you'll be glad you chose the Janome machine and that it will give you many years of satisfaction. Basic operation. Accessories and storage. The extension table provides an additional space for handling bulky materials and also serves as an accessory storage box. The extension table can be easily detached for free arm sewing. Pull the extension table to the left and remove it. To attach the table, slide it from the left and push it to snap in place. For quilters and heavy sewers, an extra wide table is also available. Connecting the power. This machine is equipped with a two-way control for sewing. You can use either the foot control or the start-stop button to operate the machine. Before connecting the machine to the power supply, make sure to turn the power switch off. If you plan to use the foot control, insert the plug into the machine socket. Connect the power supply cord by inserting the plug into the machine and power outlet. LCD. The LCD indicates the pattern number along with the preset stitch width, stitch length, and recommended foot to use. Machine operation buttons. The 5 machine operation buttons are conveniently grouped together for easy access while sewing. Start-stop button. Press the Start-stop button to start or to stop the machine. However, the Start-stop button does not work when the foot control is connected. Please note that the machine will not run if the presser foot is in the up position. The machine will run slowly as long as this button has been pressed, and will start running at the speed set by the speed control slider when the button is released. Keeping this button pressed while the machine is running will slow down the machine, and it will stop when the button is released. This function is extremely useful when precise control of stitching is necessary. Reverse button. The machine will sew in reverse as long as the reverse button has been pressed when these patterns have been sewn. To secure the beginning of a seam, press and hold this button so that the machine will sew in reverse at the slowest speed. When other patterns are being sewn, pressing the reverse button causes the machine to lock the stitch in place and stop automatically. Auto lock button. The machine immediately locks the stitch and will stop automatically by pressing the auto lock button when these patterns have been selected. When other patterns are selected, the machine will sew to the end of the pattern being sewn, then lock the stitch and stop automatically. Needle up-down button. The machine will always stop with the needle down, except when buttonhole, bar tuck, or eyelet is being selected. To raise the needle, press the needle up-down button once. Thread Cutter button. Press this button to trim the threads automatically after sewing. You can sew the next stitch without pulling the bobbin thread up. If you use thick threads, use the thread cutter on the faceplate. If you press and hold the thread cutter button before starting to sew, the machine will automatically trim the threads when locking stitches are finished. Speed Control Slider. The Speed Control slider sets the maximum sewing speed. Shift the slider to the right to increase the speed. To decrease the speed, shift it to the left. Winding the bobbin. Lift up the spool pin and place a spool of thread on it. Attach the spool holder to hold the spool firmly in place. Two kinds of spool holders are included with the standard accessories. The large holder is used with ordinary spools, and the small holder for small spools. If you need to wind a bobbin while sewing, use the extra spool pin so you don't need to unthread the machine to wind the bobbin. Insert the extra spool pin into the hole in the machine. Place a spool of thread on it and hold the spool with the spool holder. Put the bobbin on the bobbin winder spindle. Hold the thread with both hands and draw it around the bobbin winder thread guide. Hold the thread with both hands and wind it around the bobbin clockwise several times. Insert the thread into one of the 3 slits of the flange plate and pull the thread to cut. Push the bobbin to the right. The LCD indicates that the machine is in bobbin winding mode. Depress the foot control or press the start-stop button. When the bobbin is fully wound, it will stop automatically. Stop the machine and return the bobbin winder spindle to the left. Remove the bobbin. Insert the thread into the slit and pull it to cut. Inserting the bobbin. Turn off the power switch and raise the presser foot. Slide the hook cover release button to the right, and the hook cover will pop up to open. Remove the hook cover. Place the bobbin in the bobbin holder so that the thread unwinds counterclockwise. Hold the bobbin with your fingertip so it does not rotate. Guide the thread into the front notch of the bobbin holder. Pass the thread under the guide and pull it to the left. Make sure that the thread comes out from the side notch of the bobbin holder. Draw the thread to the left to pass it into the guide path marked 1. Continue to draw the thread along the guide path marked 2 and pull the thread to the right through the slit. The thread will be cut to a proper length and held in place. Set the left edge of the hook cover into the opening. Push the hook cover down to fit in place. For your convenience, a threading diagram is indicated on the hook cover plate. Threading the machine. Raise the thread take-up lever to the highest position and raise the presser foot. Place a spool of thread on the spool pin and fix it firmly in place with the spool holder. Each threading point is clearly marked with a number indicating its order in the threading sequence. Hold the threads with both hands and draw the thread around the upper thread guide. Draw the thread down into the channel on the right side of the tension dial. Guide the thread around the bottom of the thread guide plate and pull it up to the thread take-up lever. Pass the thread into the slit of the take-up lever from the right to the left. Firmly draw the thread down into the eye of the take-up lever. Continue to draw the thread down along the left channel. Pass the thread behind the lower thread guide from the right. Then slip the thread behind the needle bar thread guide on the left. It's easy to thread the needle with the built-in needle threader. Raise the needle to the highest position and lower the presser foot. Pull down the threader knob and a hook will come out through the needle eye from behind. Pull the thread down around the thread guide. Draw the thread from the left guide to the right guide and under the hook. Draw the thread up along the right side of the guide and slip the thread in between the guide and the holder plate. Raise the knob slowly and a loop of the thread is pulled up through the needle eye. Remove the thread end through the needle eye. You can start sewing without drawing up the bobbin thread. However, you need to draw up the bobbin thread when sewing gathering stitches, etc. For drawing up the bobbin thread, see the instruction manual. Detaching and attaching the presser foot. Turn the power switch off and raise the needle to the highest position. Raise the presser foot by pushing up the presser foot lifter. Press the lever on the back of the foot holder. The presser foot will drop. Place the desired foot under the foot holder so the pin on the foot lies right under the groove on the foot holder. Lower the presser foot lifter to lock the foot in place. Thread tension. Set the tension control dial at 4 for general sewing. However, you should adjust the tension manually when selecting a specific stitch pattern, such as a shell tucking, for example. Turn the dial to a higher number to increase the tension. To decrease the tension, turn it to a lower number. Adjusting the foot pressure. Depending on the sewing conditions, the foot pressure should be adjusted. For medium to heavyweight fabrics, set the foot pressure dial at 6. Reduce the pressure for appliques and sewing fine fabrics. The dial has 6 setting positions between 1 and 6, so you can fine-tune the foot pressure according to various sewing conditions. This feature is extremely helpful when making patchwork quilts. Dropping the feed dog. The feed dog can be lowered with the drop feed lever located on the back of the free arm. Shift the lever to the right to drop the feed dog. Shift the lever to the left to raise the feed dog, and it will return to the up position when turning the hand wheel. Practical sewing and advanced techniques. Selecting patterns. There are 30 stitch patterns, including 3 styles of buttonholes, available. You can select the desired pattern directly with the pattern selection buttons. Press the pattern selection button to select the desired pattern. The LCD indicates the pattern number along with the preset stitch width, stitch length, and recommended foot to use. Altering stitch width and length. This machine is programmed to optimize the stitch length and width for the selected pattern, but you can adjust them to suit your specific sewing needs. To alter the stitch length, press the plus or minus sign of the stitch length adjusting button. To alter the stitch width, press the plus or minus sign of the stitch width adjusting button. For straight stitches, you can move the needle drop position by pressing the stitch width button. Satin stitches. Satin stitches can be elongated up to 5 times their original length while the stitch density remains the same. Press the elongation button to select the desired elongation ratio. The elongation ratio is indicated in multiples of the original pattern length, L1, original length, to L5. Twin needle sewing. Press the twin needle button to limit the stitch width, and the twin needle icon is displayed. Be sure to use the twin needle provided in the standard accessories. If the selected pattern is not suitable for twin needle sewing, a warning signal sounds when this button is pressed. Buttonholes. There are 3 types of buttonholes. You can choose the appropriate buttonhole for your garment. The machine will sew a proper-sized buttonhole automatically in a single step. Pull the button holder to the back and place the button in it. Push it together tightly to the button. The buttonhole length is determined automatically. Attach the automatic buttonhole foot. Draw the needle thread to the left through the hole of the foot. Pull the buttonhole lever down as far as it will go. Position the fabric and lower the needle into the starting point. Lower the buttonhole foot. Start sewing while pulling the needle thread lightly to the left. After several stitches, free the needle thread and continue sewing. The machine will stop automatically when the buttonhole is complete. The stabilizer plate is helpful when sewing buttonholes over the hem of thick fabrics. For using the stabilizer plate, see the instruction manual. Care and maintenance. Checking the needle. Before carrying out any maintenance or cleaning, be sure to turn off the machine and disconnect it from the power supply. Check the needle frequently to ensure that its tip is not rough or blunt. Replace it with a new needle if it is dull or bent. Raise the needle and lower the foot. Loosen the needle clamp screw and remove the needle. Insert a new needle with the flat side facing back. Push the needle up against the stopper and tighten the needle clamp screw securely with a screwdriver. Cleaning the machine. It is recommended to clean the hook area at least once a month. Remove the needle and foot holder. Press the hook cover release button to the right and remove the hook cover. Take out the bobbin from the bobbin holder. Remove the set screw on the needle plate with a screwdriver. Remove the needle plate and take out the bobbin holder. Clean the bobbin holder with a lint brush and wipe it with a soft, dry cloth. Clean the feed dog, thread cutter mechanism, and hook race with a lint brush. Wipe the inside of the hook race with a soft, dry cloth. Replace the bobbin holder in the hook race, making sure the knob fits next to the stopper of the hook race. Attach the needle plate and secure it with the set screw. Be sure to tighten the screw securely with a screwdriver. Never use benzene or other chemical solvents for cleaning the machine body. Wipe the machine body using a soft cloth soaked in warm water with neutral detergent. Regular maintenance will ensure that your machine runs trouble-free.